This is Biblical Tarot, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, I will be doing a video on the Four of Pentacles, and I will be showing you what I've scryed in the card. And scrying a card means to look at the images of the card and see what other images you can bring out of the card. And that's cartomancy, where you can bring more fuller meanings to the card, or you can bring more fuller meanings to the reading by some of the images that you scry out of the card. Okay. First, I want to talk about the Four of Pentacles and about the foundation of the Four of Pentacles and what the author of the Rider-Waite deck saw in making the Four of Pentacles. I also wanted to show where the Four of Pentacles is on the Tree of Life, which, as we see, it takes the Hebrew letter Dalet, which means 4. Dalet equals 4 in its value. And also we see that the Four of Pentacles is the 4th card in the Pentacle suit. So it takes on the Hebrew letter Dalet, which equals 4. So where it is on the Tree of Life is Chesed, and that's the Sephirot, or the circle, or the emanation. It's number 4. It takes place on number 4. So you can see the synchronicity of it all. And 4 means mercy. Chesed means mercy. And it means God's mercy and loving kindness. Okay, so the zodiac for the Four of Pentacles is Sun in Capricorn. And because it's a pentacle, it's the 4th suit, which the 4th suit is Earth. And so it takes place on Asaya, the world of Asaya, which means Earth or kingdom. Okay? It's the material world, or the material universe, or level. It's a level. It could be a universe. It could be a world. And there's 4 of them, just like there's 4 suits. So we'll get back to the Four of Pentacles, which, as we see, it's a king. And the title of the card is the Lord of Earthly Power. So he has a lot of power going on. So we have a king upon a throne. You see the throne, and it's in a square, which the 4 takes on a square because the 4 is a box. You know, the box has 4 sides. So the king upon a throne, he's crowned by 1 pentacle on his head, firmly grasping another pentacle against his chest. The remaining 2 pentacles are supporting his feet. Behind stretches his empire, the manifestation of his earthly power. Now, the Emperor is the model for this card. And let's see if I have the Emperor here. There goes the Emperor. He is the model for this card. He's a crowned emperor on his throne, and he has a stone throne, just like we see with the Four of Pentacles. He's sitting on a stoned throne. This emperor, he holds his wealth tightly as a shield, as you see, with his arms going around the pentacle. The 4 pentacles correspond to the tetragrammation, which is the 4-letter word of Yahweh. Yod, He, Va, He. And that's the name of the Most High. The pentacle on his head represents the Yod, which is the 1st letter in the name of Yahweh. And that rules the East. Okay, so the pentacle against his chest, that represents the letter Va, which is in the name of Yod He Va He. And the Va, it rules the West. The right leg with the pentacle on it. Underneath it is the first hay, which the first hay in the name of Yahweh, it rules the south. Okay. And his left leg, that pentacle is the second hay, which rules the north. And the second hay is the daughter. The first hay that ruled the south is the mother. The Va that ruled the west, that's on his chest, that's the son. Okay? The sun. S-O-N, sun, but also it could represent the S-U-N, sun, placed on the tree of life. As we see Tefrith in the middle, number 6. Okay? So the Yod, that represents the Father. Okay? Which the Father is at the highest. Okay? So, and we also know that the top would be the wand. In the middle of his chest would be the air, the sword, and the left leg would be the earth, which would be the pentacle, and the right leg would be the water. But we're in the pentacles, so they're all materialized. So he's got 4 materialized pentacles. Okay? So the number 4 symbolizes something solid, what can be touched and felt. It has a relationship to the cross too, because the cross has the 4. If you fold up the cross, it becomes a box. You can divide the earth into 4 portions. 4 elements we have, which is earth, air, fire, and water. Also the tetragrammation, which I mentioned, which is Yahweh, and that's the 4-letter word of the Most High, the Creator. So I wanted to get through that. And we can go on to the next card, which is some of the things that I have scried out of the card that I have found within the card images. And if you look at his right arm, you see an eye on his right arm. It's kind of a little bit underneath his black cloak or whatever that is, but you can see an eye, and that is, of course, the eye of Horus, which is power. Okay. He also, on the other side, on the right side of his, or the left side of his, that would be left if I was, yeah, the left hand, but it's on our right side. I'll show you on this picture. There's the red with the little black dots. And that, to me, in my interpretation, represents the King of Wands. Because you see, that's not the King of Wands' hair. It's like some kind of cloth over his head. Each of the kings have like a little cloth over their head. You can't see their hair. But it's a red with black dots on it. And it also has that within this king that's sitting on the throne, which means he probably takes a meaning from the King of Wands too within the card. So if you look at his black cloak and you actually like pull away from it a little bit and look at it all together, it's the shape of a man's face, his side profile. And I put the arrow so you can see where the dot is. You can see the eye. And where you see underneath the eye, you can see the shape of a nose. And underneath the nose, you can see the shape of a mouth. And that, of course, is the side profile of a man. And if you look at the pentacle in the middle, the one that represents the Va, the sword, the air, okay? Some people say it's money on his mind. It's money on the mind of the man in the side profile, okay? And at the bottom of his cloak or whatever that is, you can see how it's kind of falling over his legs. And on the side of it, is the red and black dots. But if you really kind of look at it, it looks like the mouth of a snake gobbling him up. You see? Like it's, you know how it looks when a snake is eating something bigger than itself and its mouth is like wide open. That's what it looks like. The snake is eating him up. And that's what I've seen within this card. We already looked at that. And you see that is the same. His cloth on his head is the same as the cloth inside the head of the profiled man. Okay, and it's also within that snake, the snake's mouth. You can see that. Okay, so we'll move on. And I found it funny that I always would look at this, the building. And to me, the building is a yellow building. It's the first yellow building that you see. Okay, because there's a second yellow building behind it. But I'm talking about the first yellow building. And to me, when I scry that, what comes up in my mind is the Disney character Pluto. If anybody remembers the Disney character Pluto. And I know Pluto was made long after, I think. It was made long after 1909 when these cards were made. But for some reason, I believe that the collective consciousness can make that up. I don't know how to explain it, but I see a lot of things in the cards, and it actually takes on the meaning of the card to me. And you'll see what I'm talking about. But to me, that is a picture of Pluto, an image of Pluto, and it's the dog Pluto. So we see Pluto. That's the dog Pluto. And that's what I see when I look at that. Maybe another person might not see that, and that's fine because nobody's right, nobody's wrong, you know? It's just what you feel inside and what you see in your intuition. So we're going to look at Pluto. Pluto is the god of the underworld in the Roman mythology. Pluto was also the god of wealth because diamonds and other jewels come from underground. A myth about Pluto is that he took Proserpina, who was the daughter of Ceres, to the underworld to be his wife. Ceres cried and did not let plants grow on the earth. People needed the plants so much that god Jupiter made Pluto give her up. The deal they worked out was that for 6 months, Pluto got Proserpina. While Proserpina was in the underworld, no plants could grow on earth, and it was winter. When Proserpina went back to her mother, it was summer. This was how the Romans explained the seasons. The dwarf planet Pluto was named after this god. Now, the Four of Pentacles is the Lord of earthly power. It's Sun in Capricorn. And when we're in the Sun of Capricorn, which is January 10th to January 20th, we are in winter time, okay? And I thought that was interesting. I'll also show you something else that's interesting. When I look at... Okay, here we go. When I look at him... Oops, sorry, guys. When I look at him, he reminds me of a certain king or prince that I remember seeing a movie with him in a movie, okay? And I'll show you. It was this movie called The Princess Bride. Do you guys remember that movie? It had Prince Humperdinck in it, and Princess Buttercup, and the farmhand Wesley, who became, I forgot what he became. He became that guy that rode the seas, and he was kind of like a pirate or something. I don't know. But that Humperdinck, that Prince Humperdinck, reminds me of... Definitely reminds me of him. Even the character, because you know how he's holding his wealth, and he's holding the pentacle to him, because he don't want to let it go. And that's exactly how the character was in the movie, because he wanted Buttercup to be his princess so bad that he was forcing it, you know. And when we read, here we go, when we read about Pluto, and we read about the storyline of Pluto, the god Pluto, he was trying to force Proserpina to be his because he was in love with her and he wanted her. So it just seemed like so weird that it kind of like all of that stuff goes together. At least it goes together for me. But I did want to do this because I haven't been doing much videos about the cards. Instead, I've been doing readings. So I thought I'd start again with doing videos about the cards and explaining the cards and showing what I see within the cards. But that's all I have for you today. And thank you for supporting me and watching my videos. And hopefully you'll stay and watch more. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate my new subscribers. And I will be doing more knowledgeable videos, and also I'll do the readings. And if you do want a reading, just get to me, give me a message, and I definitely will give you a reading. Thank you, and bye.